Hey, wrestling fans, you all know you want to get to WrestleMania or some other big event. Well, I got a treat for you. You can get your tickets at selectaticket.com. And when you use the code WRESTLE10, that's WRESTLE10, you can get $10 off of any sporting event. That includes the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, NXT, how about the National Football League, Major League Baseball, and many, many, many more. Just remember, you need the code WRESTLE10, and that'll get you $10 off of any sporting event that you can get on selectaticket.com. What are you waiting for? Visit the website, selectaticket.com, and use the promo code WRESTLE10 and get $10 off. Tell them the J&J Wrestling Podcast sent you. Welcome to the J&J Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, James Pritsky and James Pritsky.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the J&J Wrestling Podcast. This is numeral 1 for me on my own, as James Ludeman is now, well, he's gone. I guess I need a new opening. We'll work on that for next week.
Is that a good thing that he's gone?
I don't know. I'm almost beginning to think that Jesse Neal scared him off.
Well, that probably what happened.
Anyway, welcome to the J&J Wrestling Podcast. I'm James Pritsky. I'm being joined today by PWE CEO Nicholas Hansbury, and we're going to talk about everything today.
Mr. Pritsky, how are you?
Doing wonderful.
Good. Awesome.
Look at that, you're the co-host today.
I know. I feel so important. This is great.
We got a lot to talk about.
All right, let's get into it.
So let's get to it. But before we get to it, let's do a little plugging here.
Yeah.
We got our Facebook account. Please go ahead and like us on the Facebook. It's at JJ Wrestling Pod. We have our new Twitter page. It's JJ Wrestling Pod 2 on Twitter. Go ahead and like us there. And, of course, we have our YouTube page, which is JJ Wrestling Pod there. And please like, subscribe. This broadcast is on Facebook and YouTube. But eventually, we're probably going to put it on YouTube and then link it to our Facebook. So, therefore, we want you to like and subscribe. Be notified when an episode's coming out, because we might do special episodes and we want you to be notified. So get on there, like the page, subscribe to the page. Big week in the news department here for wrestling.
Right.
Let's start at the top.
Yeah.
As we know, it's been talked about for about a week now. Right. Dean Ambrose is not renewing his contract with WWE.
Are you surprised?
I'm a little shocked because, quite honestly, Dean Ambrose has been there for quite a long time.
2012 was his debut on the main roster,
right? And he was in FCW for so long, and then NXT. And Dean was brought in by Seth Rollins, so that's very important that they have that bond. But now with Dean going, everybody keeps on bringing up, oh, he's going to go to AEW.
That's the newest thing for everybody.
But I don't believe he's going to go to AEW.
You never know. I mean, remember when everybody used to say that about TNA? Oh, they're not going to go. They're never going to go. And then they went.
But the issue with me having Dean Ambrose going to AEW is Renee Young.
Yeah.
His wife is still with the WWE. And quite honestly, I think Dean Ambrose, true to heart, is a WWE guy.
Didn't we have that before back in the day, though? Somebody was married to somebody and they were in separate companies. I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Anything could happen, nevertheless. But, I mean, I think Dean Ambrose is a WWE guy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, with being a WWE guy, he just is looking to take some time off. And the way to take time off is to let your contract expire, go home for a little while, rejuvenate. You know, he had that injury, and I don't think he's ever gotten back to his true self since the injury.
Well, you have to remember, too, a lot of it, everybody is seeming that they're unhappy with WWE right now. Everybody. And it's coming out more and more that every superstar is having issues. They don't want to renew their contract because there's options now. So, yeah, he could be going home because of an injury, but he could also be going to AEW or going to, I mean, you got Lucha Underground, you got Impact, you got ROH. There's so much wrestling now. Mm-hmm. You never know where they're going to go. And that's the crazy thing.
interesting to see. His contract expires just after WrestleMania.
So what do you think they're going to do for him for WrestleMania? I mean, they got, okay, we'll touch on this. Him and Nia Jax on that house show in the next, few days?
Yep. It's coming up. Nia Jax. And you saw the altercation on Raw.
Right.
On A Moment of Bliss.
Right.
When he said his sexual prowess is getting to Nia. Yeah. That was news to Renee Young on the
oh, I'm sure.
So there's a lot of things going on for Dean Ambrose. Obviously, whatever he does, wish him the best.
Absolutely.
And of course, he's definitely a high-class superstar, former WWE champion, 3-time Intercontinental champion,
right.
Longest United States champion in WWE history.
Over a year, wasn't it?
No, just say under a year.
Shy a year.
He's the third longest reigning United States champion of all time. Of course, Lex Luger is the longest United States champion of all time.
Right.
So the Royal Rumble injury bug.
Oh, like remember years ago the WrestleMania injury bug.
Well, it's leading into WrestleMania.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it looks as if both our Royal Rumble winners are dealing with injuries.
Right.
Now, we'll touch on Becky Lynch in just a moment.
Okay.
But let's touch on Seth Rollins here because Seth Rollins is actually dealing with a legit back injury.
Right.
He is sitting out of Elimination Chamber.
Right.
Which is why you're seeing Kurt Angle being brought in right now.
Right.
So you have Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman. It sounds like they're going to be going to a full-fledged tag match with Drew McIntyre and the human vacuum cleaner who manages to suck and blow at the same time. Charisma is sucking. I'm telling you. Once again, you know me and my feelings about Baron Corbin. I'm not a big fan of his.
Neither am I. I don't know what they've done with him in the last few years.
But his theme song is
awesome. I want to rip it for my own entrance music for PWE. If he didn't have it, I would steal it. But I don't know what they've done with him in the last few years. He went from what he was on NXT, everybody loved him, and now it's like they don't know what to do with him.
And even now, he's still wearing a stupid little vest.
Yeah.
He's no longer
the intern, or what was it, the general manager elect?
Yes. But
way to rip off politics.
Nevertheless, Seth Rollins is going to heal up. He'll be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yep, for the Universal title.
And that match will be.
Do you have high hopes for that match?
I don't know.
I've lost all hopes for Brock Lesnar and anything he does. They can be good. I mean, come on, Lesnar, Rollins, Cena. What was that? 2015 Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was good. But I mean, anytime else, like him and Roman, like their SummerSlam match last year was 2.5, 3 minutes. But that's what it should be. The two powerhouses.
And the thing about it is as you are well aware, that Brock works in, as you said, with a larger guy. It needs to be a quick.
Yes.
Punch match.
Right.
If you remember correctly, his matches with AJ Styles went about 15 minutes.
Right.
His match with Daniel Bryan
I didn't
went
get to
about
see
15
the Daniel Bryan match.
And that match was awesome.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
You get a chance to watch it. Maybe if the weather doesn't hold out and Disney is out. By the way, we're in the backyard of Disney right now.
Yeah, we're in the House of Mouse. I mean, Mandrake said weeks ago, welcome to darkness. Welcome to the House of Mouse.
Welcome to the House of Mouse. This is actually my first time over near Disney, so this is really a cool opportunity for me. But nevertheless, the House of Mouse is a wonderful place. We're just outside of Orlando in Kissimmee, Florida, doing this interview. So really cool place out there. It's been Disney Springs today.
I didn't have to drive 100 miles to Clearwater. It's
there
great.
You go. There you go. I drove 100 miles to Kissimmee.
It's great.
Nevertheless, and now Becky Lynch.
I think it's a work. I mean, come on.
Now, and I agree with you, and here's why.
Right.
Did anybody realize what knee she actually landed on when she got pushed off the steps in the Royal Rumble? Give you a minute to think about it. She landed on her right knee.
Right.
Anybody notice what leg the brace is on?
She's working her left.
Yep.
Uh-huh. I think they're using it as a ploy to get to the Charlotte, Becky, Ronda. And they're trying.
I don't think that should happen.
I think they're going to build it up that she's hurt, she's suspended, put Charlotte and Ronda in that situation and bring her back. Like they did with Ray, Orton, and Kurt Angle years ago. Mm-hmm. That's what they're working towards.
But I did see that Becky Lynch is scheduled to face the entire McMahon family on Monday Night Raw this week.
It's going to be an interesting Raw.
That's going to be fun. And
are they building her as the women or the woman CM Punk, in your opinion?
I think it's more Austin.
Okay.
But nevertheless, and when I say that, because I think down the line,
right,
we're going to have a Becky-Stephanie match.
Yeah, absolutely. SummerSlam. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
I say by SummerSlam you're going because you had Brie Bella and Stephanie years ago. Yeah. They started that little with the whole authority gimmick and everything they were doing. But yeah, absolutely. By SummerSlam, you're going to see that.
And let me put it this way: it's awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was sad, but it's not sad. It's awesome.
Right.
That Becky Lynch is the hottest thing in WWE right now.
Yeah. She is.
And that is amazing.
Yeah. The women are taking WWE by storm.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
As of right now, Becky Lynch is scheduled to face Ronda Rousey. Is scheduled one-on-one right now for the Raw Women's Championship. That of course, is also scheduled to change possibly.
Yep.
Because right now, booked at Elimination Chamber, it will be Ruby Riott taking on Ronda Rousey. I know we see Ruby Riott in the WWE and NXT, but Ruby Riott is a very technical game wrestler. Right. She has learned back in her days as Heidi Lovelace. She definitely has some tremendous skill. I think that may prove to give Ronda a little bit of a challenge. Once again, I think Ronda's game right now, she is probably the best thing that has come around from a second sport since Kurt Angle. Yeah,
and you have to give her credit, too. She's there every week. She's wrestling every week on Raw, defending that title. She's doing things that Brock Lesnar's not doing. And it's showing that, look, you can be a big name and you can still show up on a weekly basis.
Yes.
But, I mean, her and Ruby Riott should be a really good match.
Even if Brock doesn't show up,
right,
I think Paul Heyman could show up still.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman talks about the Beast.
Sometimes a more better attraction is Paul than it is Brock.
I agree with you on that. And Paul Heyman's there, and we know this because Paul Heyman has been advising some of the talent in the back. It's specifically Ronda Rousey.
Right. Absolutely. So why not have him come out, cut some promos, and do some stuff with Seth?
Right.
But, I mean, instead...
that may happen.
I hope it does, because it's going to make that match even more entertaining. Mm-hmm. I like the way they went with it last year with Brock and Roman. They kind of put more of a legitimate feeling to it. Roman's rushing to the back in the gorilla position. He's going off on McMahon. And it worked because fans were intrigued. They're like, oh, my God, they're seeing behind the curtains. They're not used to that. Mm-hmm. And, like, when you hear that, your ears perk up. Oh, behind the scenes? What? It's like Total Divas. Why do you watch Total Divas? To see behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. EC3.
Yeah. Where's EC2 and 1?
I think I saw pictures of them, by the way, online.
Looks very similar to John Cena.
I'm telling you.
Very similar. Prototype.
He debuted.
Yes.
On Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
His first match, and he defeated Dean Ambrose, former WWE champion.
Yeah, which was huge. I'm surprised. That's almost like coming in. I mean, I'm not as big as Kevin Owens over John Cena years ago, but that's a good victory on your first night on Raw. You're beating a former WWE champion.
Yeah. Especially a man who just recently was Intercontinental champion.
Right, and came off a very starting of a great heel turn, and then it kind of is fizzled out.
Well, I mean, you have to tie it down because you know Seth Rollins is moving on to the championship now with Brock Lesnar. So, and on top of that, was just with Ambrose leaving the company.
They're going to use him to put over as much young talent as they can.
And they need to.
Yeah, they do. Give him that rub before he's on his way out. Why not? Absolutely.
So, let's finish up some WWE news here. As we said, we already mentioned Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott for the Raw Women's Championship.
Yep.
The SmackDown Tag Team Championship will be crowned. I'm sorry, the Women's Tag Team Championship. The Women's Tag Team Championship will be crowned at the Elimination Chamber inside the chamber. And I did not get to write down all the teams, but I'm sure we can go through them. Bayley and Sasha. Are the favorites to win. But
so
Nia,
weird how that tag team went from what they were doing before to now the team. They started that whole, are they going to turn on each other? And then they kind of went with a team. I feel like they started testing waters and they decided not to and they just put it back.
And they've had back and forth for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, they are part of the 4 horsewomen of WWE.
Right.
If I challenge you all to go back to the first Brooklyn pay-per-view, Brooklyn NXT takeover.
Right.
And watch the match between Bayley and Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship. That match stole the show.
Iron Man, wasn't it?
No, the Iron Man was a couple months later.
Okay.
But that match stole the show. My favorite part of the match was when Bayley did the reverse Hurricane
Right.
off the top, and Sasha landed on her head legit.
Right.
It still came up, finished the match. It was an awesome match. If I get a chance, we get to pick our WWE Network picks. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Go check it out. I think that would be a great start to see where Becky and Sasha really started on their amazing career.
Right.
Now, with that said, we got Becky and Sasha in there. We have
Bayley and
Sonya. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. Bayley and Sasha.
You're good.
We have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And I want to point something out here. Everybody has come to me and say, Mandy Rose reminds me of Eva Marie.
No.
Just a blonde version of Eva Marie.
Why?
Which
Eva
is
Marie
bad.
actually couldn't really wrestle.
And that's bad because Mandy can wrestle. And Mandy's been proving herself with Naomi lately.
Eva Marie was more of a thing for Total Divas than it was for anything. They just wanted to give some more sexual appeal to that show.
And I'm not saying that Mandy Rose does not give sexual appeal because God forbid she is gorgeous.
Don't tell my wife, but oh man. But no, I mean, come on. She was on Tough Enough, wasn't she? Yes, I mean, like she can wrestle. Where Eva Marie she was still training
And
halfway through her contract.
And this is also based where this animosity with Mandy Rose comes through because Naomi was on the panel.
Yeah.
And didn't see anything in her. Well, here we are years later.
No, that was Paige.
And Paige.
Yeah, Naomi was on the panel?
Naomi was also there, too. It was one of the trainers, I think.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
But anyway, nevertheless, they went back and forth regarding this. Naomi is also in the Elimination Chamber with Carmella.
I mean, before we get further, you got to think, too, Chelsea Green was another one on Tough Enough that Paige didn't see nothing in. And then, look, she went out on her bubble, did this huge thing, and now she's in NXT.
I want you to think about something here. Triple H once said, hey, here's a guy that I've seen I think is going to be great for the business and ends up flopping. And then he said, then there's this guy that I don't think is going to become a damn in the business, and then end up being John Cena.
Yeah, and that was Terry Taylor, too, on Seth Rollins, if you remember from the documentary on the network. Terry Taylor saw nothing in Seth Rollins. He thought he was just a nuisance and annoying until Triple H, you got to deal something with him. And then now look at Seth Rollins. I mean,
Seth Rollins is the standard bearer right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman Reigns is the man right now. But Roman Reigns is out right now.
Right.
And Seth Rollins is picking up the...
I mean, Seth Rollins had a huge run from, 2014 when the Shield broke up, all the way till his injury that night at the house show with Kane.
Yeah.
And I love that. That was my favorite time of WWE for a while because it was hot. It was good.
Even became a double champion for a while, United
John
States
Cena, John Stewart,
and WWE champion, and
the rivalry with Sting. I mean, that was awesome. Unfortunately, Sting got hurt, but that was good.
Yeah.
Double duty that night. Yeah.
So, also in the chamber, Nia Jax and Tamina.
It's a powerhouse team.
Yes, indeed. And I'm drawing a blank on the last Raw team.
I haven't watched Raw in a few weeks, so bear with me as well. I know.
But anyway,
yeah,
check it out. It's on WWE.com. You can go ahead and take a look at that. And as soon as we remember who the final team is, we'll get back to you. Nicholas has been a great co-host. He's looking it up right now.
Yeah. Google
While he's doing that, let me go over the WWE Championship match. That's also inside Elimination Chamber. The WWE champion with a new awesome belt, by the way. Daniel Bryan will be defending the title against Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Samoa Joe, and of course the phenomenal AJ Styles, as Nicholas is sporting some AJ.
The Iconics and the Riot Squad.
Iconics and the Riot Squad. Riot Squad being, of course, will be
Liv
Morgan and Sarah Logan.
Yep, and then you got the Iconics. Yep, those are your teams for the Raw Women's.
The true favorite in there is going to be Sasha and Bayley, but I wouldn't put it past that Nia and Tamina could win that match.
You also got Naomi and Carmella, too.
Yeah, I did put that out there with the. But I think there's a good chance that Sonya and Mandy could also end up being the upset.
But I see Sasha and Bayley taking it. They're hot right now. I feel like they're going to be the ones, especially if they're doing this Nia Jax thing. If they are turning her almost like a China, if that's what they're doing, I can see Bayley and Sasha taking it.
Another thing that I'm coming up with here is that the lack of depth in the tag team division in WWE.
It's at a stalemate right now.
And the problem is your three hottest teams are on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And you have.
I'm shocked the New Day is still going to this day. I'm shocked that they did not pull the trigger on breaking up the New Day, because Vince McMahon, when something's hot and something's good, he pulls it. I am surprised because there were so many rumors back in the day they're going to get pulled, they're going to break up, blah, 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 and it hasn't happened. I'm shocked.
What I'm getting to the point here is that the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship is going to be defended across
Both shows.
Both shows.
Right.
I think it's time to unify the tag team titles and have just the men's tag team titles also be on both shows.
I mean, then you're kind of going backwards, though, back to what they did before that Raw and SmackDown were back and separated again. See, I wish this brand split was what they did years ago when I first started watching wrestling, where it was actually two entities, two different brands, and you had a pay-per-view. So Backlash was in April. You then had May was Judgment Day. So your Raw storylines went from April to June for Vengeance. You had 2 months. You think about Cena Umaga started building at the end of October of 2006. You didn't see their first match till January 9th, don't quote me, 2007. Mm-hmm. You had almost 3.5 months of build-up. That's what they need to do. I hate it when they came back and they were doing pay-per-views every 2 weeks. You're not giving enough time for that story to develop and to make me want to care to go out and pay $49.99, well now $10 for the network.
Yeah,
so no,
at least $10 isn't that bad.
Right, but no, back to the unifying the titles. We had the titles unified, and everybody was sick of it because the WWE champion was showing up on different shows, and everybody's like, they want to have their own stuff.
I'm not talking about the WWE and the Universal Championship. I think they should be separate. I'm just talking about the tag team division because it's the lack of depth.
Yeah, I think it's too much having two different divisions on each show because SmackDown's only got 2 hours to fill. Mm-hmm. That's not that much. Mm-hmm. And if you're adding a women's tag title now you have another segment opening up. Mm-hmm. So no, I kind of agree. And you got 3 hours of Raw. You
still have 2 tag team titles. It's just going to be the men's division and women's division. And the tag team champions only go to each brand.
Now you have 3 tag divisions.
Right.
Which it is too much.
It is too much.
It is too much.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's talk some AEW news. They had the press conference this past week.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things out of that press conference is the signing, which we kind of anticipated. It was thrown out there that there's a chance he might be
in your face, Ludeman, you lose. Didn't show up at the Royal Rumble.
He did not show up at the Royal Rumble. He showed up in AEW, and Kenny Omega is officially signed to a 4-year deal.
I think something like that.
But he has the option to go back to Japan.
Which
also.
same thing Jericho has.
And of course, that's leading to the stare down that Jericho and Omega had. It sounds like we're going to get Alpha Omega USA.
I hope. That I finally got to watch the one from Japan. Wow. Mind blown. Great match. And I hope we get it again. Because that will make me buy that pay-per-view on its own.
My pick for match of the year involved Kenny Omega. It wasn't Jericho, but it was Okada.
Okay.
And that 2 out of 3 falls 1 hour 15-minute match that they had, where Kenny won the title.
Right.
And that
was this past.
It was Dominion in June. Yeah. And that match, my opinion, was the best match of the year.
Why, in your opinion, do you believe people do not like Kenny Omega? Because I hear so many rumblings, people do not like Kenny Omega.
I have nothing against Kenny Omega. I mean, other than the fact that everybody says, "Oh, well, he didn't make it in the United States, so he went over in Japan." There's a lot of superstars that start their careers in Japan, get built up to the point, because remember, they have dojos over there.
Right.
We're not talking about wrestling schools. We're talking about
legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and people have done that. I mean, Jericho did that. He went all over around the whole world, and then finally got that WWE opportunity. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're building yourself. I mean, look, AJ went over there. AJ didn't have to go to Japan.
No.
He went anyways, and he became even hotter than he was.
Yep.
Came back, and Vince McMahon, let me give you the dollars. Mm-hmm. That's the way it works. Sometimes you need that.
Yep.
I didn't believe the hype of Kenny Omega, but I never saw a match. So I'm like, well, I watched Alpha Omega. I was like, wow, okay, Kenny Omega is something. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's as big as a hoopla everybody puts behind him, but everybody does that.
Get a chance to watch Omega Okada.
Yeah.
I think
I'll have to watch it.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Get that one. Cody has stated that in an interview that AEW, in the back of his mind, there's revenge for what happened with WCW. Back in the day, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that his father, Dusty Rhodes, had a very much integral part in WCW.
Right.
What's your take?
Does that frustrate you? That's my question to you. Does it frustrate you that we're in almost 2020 and WCW is still a thing that people have to look at revenge? I mean, we'll go here. I feel WrestleMania 31, with Sting and Triple H. I'm still frustrated to this day. We did not get Sting and Taker. But again, I wipe my hands of that. We should have had that years ago. But in your opinion, you have to believe that they did that match and they did everything at the end with the NWO and DX so Vince could get the ha, I beat the WCW thing. And I mean, and come on. That shouldn't have been how that Triple H and Sting could have went that whole match and never had all those run-ins at the end. Yeah, it was a cool, hey, let's pop for this, let's pop for that. But I mean, come on. We're literally almost in 2020. I think it's enough to kind of let WCW die where it died and let it be done. If you're building a new wrestling company, build it. Don't try to do, well, we're gonna beat Vince McMahon now like the way WCW should have. How about you look in the future? There's so many things that have changed from 2000 to now, 2001 to now. Why are we still reminiscing? That's like ECW. Stop bringing back the dead. And good Lord, leave it.
And we talked about that because there's different indie promotions right here in Florida that have. Everybody has their little own way of treating business, and everybody's trying to be innovative. But I mean, you have hardcore on the East Coast.
Yeah,
well, that is
unfortunately, if everybody keeps doing hardcore too, it's going to end up dying out the breed. Mm-hmm. Fans are going to get sick and tired of always seeing the hardcore wrestling because you have to have innovating storylines. You can't just assume fans are going to want to see guys thrown in a barbed wire every time, because after a while, you have that moment of, oh wow, that was awesome. The next time, oh that was cool, and the third time, like, yeah, we saw this before. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, you need to innovate yourselves and make yourself different. So if AEW plans to be anything in the future, you can't live off of what WCW did. Yes, you have Tony Khan and his family, which is almost as equivalent, not equivalent to Ted Turner's money, but very, very similar. Don't be stupid and do this again. Don't learn from your history. Don't repeat it.
Yeah, those who don't follow history are doomed to repeat it.
Isn't that a quote from the PWE champion himself?
Possibly.
A few weeks ago? Oh, God.
Possibly. First Double or Nothing match has been announced.
Yes. Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman Adam Page will be taking on the former Neville, Pac. The bastard Pac, by the way.
It's interesting. Interesting name.
Yeah.
I like Pac. Well, Neville. Yeah. I liked him in NXT. Mm-hmm. I thought he was good, and I thought his rivalry alone with Tyson Kidd was really good.
I feel he got jobbed out to Enzo.
Yeah.
At the when they moved him over there, and it's a shame because with everything that happened with Enzo, it kind of it probably should have never happened.
No, I think now if you went
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, if you went back then and you see what you know now, I don't know if Neville would still maybe be there if they didn't do all that with Enzo, because WWE knowing now where Enzo is, I mean Neville was on a good heel run. And he was good, and he was a highlight of that 205 Live, because 205 Live, it has its days where it's good and it's bad, and then you had your moments. But I mean, I think Neville was a staple of it, and it was really good when they did what he did with him. Now, knowing with Enzo, I think it was a bad decision, obviously. But if they knew back then, maybe. But who knows? We're not the writing team. You know that writing team up there. They like to fall asleep a lot and not really pay attention to things that need to be paid attention to, and know that there's certain things that they could be looking at that the fans want.
Yeah.
Remember, we are the authority now. Remember that.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are the authority.
We're the authority.
So, quick Impact news here. They have an event coming up in New Jersey. It's just in April, just before around WrestleMania time.
Right.
RVD and Sabu are going to be part of that show. United We Stand in Rawway, and they're taking on the Lucha Brothers, and of course that's barring we find out, because there is a possible injury to one of them.
Is it Felix?
Felix.
They did just put up a tweet that he is out of the hospital.
That's good.
He is having feeling. They did say something about contusions. I saw the tweet very vaguely, so I don't remember everything from it. So now you have to wonder if that match is in question or not. Mm-hmm. When's this event supposed to take place?
And this is supposed to take place in April. And just to point out that obviously Impact tapings happened in Mexico back in January, and they're still catching up here. The Lucha Brothers won the tag team titles.
Okay.
And that just actually played this past week.
Oh, wow.
So they're the tag team champions right now. We'll have to see what happens with the Luchas. But nevertheless, RVD and Sabu are going to be part of that show. I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and the RVD and Sabu together is always a great thing. You haven't seen that since 2010, maybe? I think they did something on Impact during that EV 2.0 invasion angle, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see that. And that's a one night only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like one of their one night only pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. What is your thoughts on the Impact product now compared to, we'll say, even 5 years ago?
I think it's almost non-existent. They don't have a great TV deal.
No, they're on what is it, the the hunting channel now.
I mean, really?
Yeah, like why? I don't know why. I'm surprised. I mean, Jim Cornette says it best. They went to Pop TV, which is a former TV guide. How much worse can you get? And then they go to the Pursuit. That's at the Pursuit channel, which is now the hunting channel. I mean, now they're having to give you Impact every week on Twitch because most people don't have that in their cable package.
Yeah. And it is what it is on that one. Impact kind of lost its steam once AJ left, once Kurt Angle left, once Sting left.
Lately, you just lost two cornerstones of the back office. That was Sanjay Dutt.
We'll talk about the other one in just a few moments.
Okay. We won't get ahead of ourselves.
Yes, we'll not get ahead of ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick moment here. We're going to take it to our sponsor of Sell a Ticket. Select a Ticket. Say I can't even talk straight. SelectAticket.com.
Did Mickey Mouse spike your drink?
I'm telling you, man. I had one of those Mickey Mooses.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I think they put something in that.
Yeah.
SelectAticket.com, where you can save $10 on tickets that you purchase. Let's go to the commercial.
Hey, wrestling fans, you all know you want to get to WrestleMania or some other big event. Well, I got a treat for you. You can get your tickets at SelectAticket.com. And when you use the code WRESTLE10, that's WRESTLE10, you can get $10 off of any sporting event. That includes the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, NXT, how about the National Football League, Major League Baseball, and many, many, many more. Just remember, you need the code WRESTLE10, and that'll get you $10 off of any sporting event that you can get on SelectAticket.com. What are you waiting for? Visit the website, SelectAticket.com, and use the promo code WRESTLE10 and get $10 off. Tell them the J&J Wrestling Podcast sent you.
All right, and normally, just so you know, because I like to annoy James, I like playing a PWE commercial. But we're going to talk about PWE and why I don't have a PWE commercial right now.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get to. But before we talk about that, let's talk about January 26th. It was back at Prestigious Ball. We had some great matches that happened there. I pulled out some of the standouts that happened at Prestigious Ball. Let's talk about, we talked about the hardcore style earlier and how if you overdo it, it becomes a dying breed.
It does.
And I point that out because I said on the air that I thought that it was going to be a drag-out Donnybrook between Sideshow and ERA because that was Sideshow's style.
Yeah, you didn't think Sideshow could get a little technical, could you?
And those two put on a clinic.
They did. That's the thing, man. Some people underestimate Sideshow. They automatically believe it's a hardcore style and that's all he can do. I've seen that man do some amazing matches without even touching a weapon, and you got that with him in ERA. I guarantee when people saw Sideshow ERA on the card, they didn't know how to take it. Mm-hmm. What is going to happen? Is it going to be a hardcore? Because ERA, that's your girlfriend's favorite wrestler. He's your pretty boy. He's not one to get cut up. But those two went out there and they tore that house down. They put on something that nobody expected. And I think when fans walked away that night, they were like, wow, that was a standout.
Ernest joined us on the podcast live from Plebes after the show, and he did point out that he was not expecting that match from him, but I think anybody was. I think it leaned more in his favor because of the fact that it was more of a technical style and a little more high flying, that he was able to pull out the victory in that one.
Yeah, I think if Sideshow would have brought a weapon or something, it might have threw ERA's little game off a little bit, but since it stayed technical, I think ERA had that upper advantage. I mean, grabbing the tights at the end too, that was another move that was like, wow, okay, you got the win, good for you. You kind of snuck by one a little bit, but him and Sideshow nonetheless, that little tactic at the end, they had a great match.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see them again soon. And let's go on. The Brooklyn Juggernaut Romeo, well, this poor guy. First Lou Cypher, and now
Ativalu.
The modern day Samoan, the modern day sadistic Samoan, as I'm going to call him pretty much.
Yeah. Him and Justin Michaels.
Samoan Savage, yes. Ativalu pretty much destroyed
Did you see that
Romeo.
kick at the end?
Yeah.
That kick right to Romeo's face.
Knocked him out.
Yeah, he wasn't getting up.
That was it.
Yeah, absolutely. Adi didn't even have to put any weight on that pinfall. He wasn't getting up.
Yeah, he took he knocked the juggernaut out.
I think Adi
Brooklyn.
in PWE is going to have a huge, bright future, especially under the watchful eye of Justin Michaels. I think he lined himself with somebody good, and we're going to get to it, but the other person that's involved in that, I think as well, that man's already had a hell of a career just alone, but with Justin and Adi, it's going to be unstoppable. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Adi and Romeo, it was two bulls going at it, just like Romeo and Lou. But, I mean, Adi, I think, had the more strength and the more power to take him out.
Me and James had a big old debate that
Right.
he believed totally that the Army of Darkness had everything to do with what happened to Jamel Fortune
Yep.
and to Barrington Hughes.
Okay.
And now, this past January, also now to Kendrick Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy Kendrick was injured.
Kennedy Kendrick.
Yeah, we received a phone call that morning from him letting us know that he was jumped the night before and he was unable to even move. He was getting to the hospital and have doctors look at him and everything else. We asked him, did he see anything? Did he know anything? And he said no. He was attacked the night before. He went out with his girlfriend. They were at a club. They were hanging out. He got jumped in the parking lot. Didn't know what happened. Well,
We
Saturday.
found out the very next night.
Yeah, because, I mean, I understand where James was coming from. Everybody's going to point fingers at the Army of Darkness. What happened to Barrington? What happened with Jamel Fortune's car? Well, it's funny how Mandrake won the title, but then it's like, I believed Mandrake when he said he didn't do it. I believed him. I know Vince was a little eerie on it, but at the end of the day, I've never known Mandrake to lie. So I had to take his word, but then I was like, who did it then? At the end of the day, well, we found out on January 26th who did it.
The very replacement for Kendrick.
Yeah.
And that was poor Samuel C. What a good contest, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he faced the wrath of one dog of war.
Jesse Neal.
Jesse Neal.
Jesse Neal made a shocking debut.
Shocking
at PWE.
debut and aligned himself with Justin Michaels
Yeah.
and Ati.
Yeah, I mean, the match between him and Sam C was insane. That spear at the end when Sam got distracted by Adi and Justin, he looked around, he went to go jump, and Jesse caught him midair with that spear. I thought he broke Sam in half.
Oh, yeah.
I really did. And then the surprising joining of Jesse, Ati, and Justin, that's going to be a powerhouse tag team. I don't know if PWE's tag division's ready for that.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, though, a quick side note: next week, a special Friday edition. We're going to have Samuel C. on the show.
That's awesome.
He'll be talking about not only PWE, but he'll be talking about his match coming up at GCW with Mikey Spandex. So that's going to be.
Hopefully his ribs are healed up for that
We'll
match.
see what happens on that.
Jesse took care of that.
So as I said, obviously the alliance of Ati, Jesse, and Justin. And I want to tell you right now, I think it's very simple here. Jesse is out for respect, and he made that very clear.
Yeah,
on
I heard
our
the post
podcast.
show. Wow. Jesse had a lot of fire.
I want to say he went off on James.
Did you check James's pants?
I smelt that thing.
Oh. Oh, man.
I mean, I literally had to hand my microphone over to Justin just for Jesse to calm down and let Justin talk. And that's bad because you think Justin will talk all night long. He's the voice.
Yeah. Jesse wouldn't even let James, or every time James would try to say something, Jesse jumped him.
And you know why? And the reason he did that, and I thank you, Jesse, because even though I have always, every time I see Jesse,
right,
I always thank him for his service because he definitely put a lot into our country.
Absolutely.
He believes in this country.
Absolutely.
But he feels that a lot of people are losing respect for this country.
Yeah, in the country and for the sport of pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. And people are just coming in and taking what they want, which is okay, but I mean, you still have to have that respect for the people who have come before you and the things that have been done and the groundwork that's been laid. But I mean, Jesse's out for respect. Adi's out for, I think, another cause. I don't know what it is. I think it's pure destruction. Where Jesse is on a path, he wants respect, and he's going to get it one way or another.
And either way, they're both led by Justin Michaels. And I'm really working on trying to get Justin Michaels on our show. And we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Abyss versus Lou Cypher.
Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball. A lot of things happened in that match. Number one, we saw Lou Cypher get busted open on a trash can shot.
Yeah.
We
saw Abyss spit water at Lou. I think he was trying to give him a shower.
I saw that.
I didn't think you could shower.
Choke slam to the referee
on the thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks.
Well, I mean, Lou took the thumbtacks, threw him at Abyss's eyes. He distracted him. But I mean, next thing you know, all you see is the referee go up and come right to the thumbtacks, and wow,
what a shot!
I felt so bad for that referee. Hopefully, he's still not plucking the thumbtacks out of his back.
The match ended on a choke slam through the table. Lou Cypher defeated by Abyss
with the help of Father James Mitchell.
Yes, after using the cane,
he broke it right over Lou's back. I'm surprised Lou even felt that. With how big and massive Lou Cypher is, I am shocked. But Lou, I think it wasn't even more of a ow that hurt. It was more of a what was that?
What hit me?
Yeah, what the hell just hit me in the back, and it felt more like a fly. And then when he turned around, Abyss got that goozled on him and right through the table and got him for the pin.
At the end, Mark Mandrake, who earlier
already
said that he was going to accept the match and face
Abyss no matter what.
And no matter what happened. Yeah. And, of course, he met in the aisleway and held his championship high.
I think Mandrake wanted that because Mandrake respects Abyss. And when Mandrake got hurt at the end of the cage in November, he wanted that match against Abyss in the Monsters Ball. And I know it killed Mandrake every day not to get that match. But he said, look, you defeat Lou, we'll get there. We're going to have that match in March. But I think Mandrake walked in January. Because here's the thing. He came to me and Vince and said, look, I'm going out there to make an announcement tonight, and I don't know what it's going to be. You guys will find out when I get out there. So me and Commissioner Vince were sitting there watching, and I honestly did not know if he was retiring or not. I didn't know if he was giving us the title. I almost prepared myself to go out there to take the title because I thought he was going to vacate it. And then I'm listening. I hear the fans chanting PWE, and I hear him saying that he's going to give Abyss the match no matter what. That's the champion. That man was saying, I don't care if you beat Lou Cypher. I want my shot at the Monster Abyss. I'm going to show you I'm the best. I'm going to show you I'm the king of hardcore. And I'm going to show you why I'm the PWE champion.
And that's going to bring us to our breaking news as we reported on Facebook earlier this weekend that we had some breaking news coming out.
I don't want to make this announcement.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, I've been left to this announcement here. Reasons undetermined at this time.
You want me to tell you the whole story?
Mere speculation.
You want to go with the whole story? We'll go with the story. On Tuesday night, I received a text message from Abyss letting me know that unfortunately he had to pull out of the March event. He didn't specify why. He said that just right now he couldn't do the event. He had to pull out, and he wished us the best of luck. Now, unfortunately, that leaves us in a hole because you were supposed to see the Monster Abyss challenge the Suicide Messiah Mark Mandrake for the PWE Championship on March 16th at No Remorse. That now leaves us with an opening where Mark Mandrake does not have a challenger for the PWE title.
But you have assured me, as we discussed prior to the show,
yes,
that no matter what happens,
right,
the Suicide Messiah,
yes,
Mark Mandrake,
yes,
will be defending,
yes,
the PWE Championship,
absolutely,
at Los Dos Plebes on March 16th.
Yep.
No matter what
no matter what happens, we are looking for a suitable challenger to take on.
So I understand you, Commissioner Vince,
yes,
and the
PWE Board of Directors
we
are all going over scenarios and opponents and challengers that Mandrake can face. We are going to be making an announcement within the next week. You're going to have to stay tuned to the PWE page on Facebook, and I'll give you a cheap plug, PWE-Prestige Wrestling Entertainment. That's your number one source for all breaking news with PWE. Again, all of us here at the PWE family and the PWE team apologize deeply for this that's happening right now. Unfortunately, it's out of our control. There's nothing that we can do, and it is what it is. It's the wrestling business. Things happen. But we are going to get through it. Mandrake's going to have that title defense in March, and we're still going to have one hell of a show with No Remorse.
And the most important thing is as Mark has told do right in the middle of the ring on the 26th of January, that when he goes out to the ring, when he goes out to wrestle, he wants to make sure that you get your money's worth, and he is guaranteed. And I'll be honest with you, I spoke to the Suicide Messiah earlier this week. He is guaranteed that you will get a show with him on the card as the main event, defending his PWE Heavyweight Championships. So you're guaranteed that by the champion.
Yeah, you're going to have a title defense. We've said that before, even before Abyss was even determined as the challenger at a prestigious ball. You are getting a PWE title match in March. Mandrake is ready to go. His knee was cleared by the doctors, and we're going to have a title defense. It's just now we have the unsettling of who we're gonna put in that title match that Mandrake can to take on as a suitable replacement for Abyss. Unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is. We wish Abyss all the best in his future endeavors and anything that happens. But no remorse. It's still going to be one hell of a show. You don't want to miss that PWE title match.
And one match has already been announced for the No Remorse PWE 3, and that will be the reigning PWE Tag Team Champions, the brothers-in-arms, Jason Dugan and Ray Zion. They will be defending their titles against Justin Michaels' team of the Dog of War, Jesse Neal, and the modern-day Samoan Savage, the sadistic Samoan Savage, man, at Ati Valu. That will happen on the 16th.
Yeah. This is the first time, too, that these two are going to be tagging together under their new formation with Justin Michaels. And Brothers in Arms, they've been champions since they won the titles in November. They've been a tag team for a long time. You have to look at the tag team aspect. Is Jesse and Ati, how are they going to be as a team? Is it going to be where they're going to be coexisting? Is there going to be friction because they both have egos? Or is the Brothers in Arms going to be able to outsmart them and retain the titles?
I have a theory about this, and as you know, I follow all of the independent scene in Florida, and I've been following along here. First of all, we know Ati is a former tag team wrestler.
Yep.
So he does know the ropes in the tag team division.
Yeah, he's not new to this.
But I think that this is a little different. I think Jason and Ray are going to have a time figuring out Ati.
Yeah.
They know Jesse very well.
They do.
Okay. So, and matter of fact, Jesse and the Brothers in Arms have run into each other before. Recently, Jesse was able to overcome Jason Dugan in a one-on-one contest at Sausage Castle Wrestling. So that is one thing that we do know, that he has an upcoming bout with them on the East Coast this next weekend.
Right.
The Brothers in Arms, Jesse Neal, are going to have a back and forth contest. They know each other very well. A problem I think is that Jason and Ray are going to have is with Ati Valu.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't know Ati the way that they know Jesse. I mean, especially Ati is a big Samoan. But Ray's not a tiny person.
Ray is not tiny. No, I agree.
Ray has size and strength on him as well. I am excited to kind of see Ray and Ati lock it up a little bit. That's going to be pretty decent. Now, with Jason and Ati, that's going to be interesting because there's a little bit different size and strength and the weight that goes with it. But, I mean, Jesse and them, that's going to be the interesting part. But
I think the determining factor may very well be Justin Michaels.
It could be. Absolutely. Justin's not known to be your typical stand by the ring and do your normal managing. Justin plays a little dirty, and Justin has a big mouth. I definitely can see Justin being a deciding factor in that match. It's going to be good, though. Mm-hmm. That's going to be one match that I think everybody's going to want to walk away seeing by how that match, it's either way between the two teams. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be a dynamite match. I've seen all parties wrestle. I think it's going to be a great dynamic.
Yeah.
You're going to have size and strength in Ati Valu. You're going to have speed and strength in Jesse Neal. You have the cunning spirit and the quickness of Jason Dugan, and of course the powerhouse of Ray Zion.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think the tag team match is going to definitely...
I am more curious than just to see how Jesse and Ati do as a team. That you've seen the formation, but you have not ever seen them tag together. I'm curious to see. And now when the lights are on bright, as JBL would say, it's time to play, the titles are on the line, how are they going to do as a tag team? Like you said, Jesse's had experience with Inc. with Shannon Moore. You got Adi with Alecki from the Modern Day Savages. They both have tag experience, but not with each other. It's a different dynamic when you're with somebody you haven't been with before, especially when there's tag titles, because that's more pressure, that's more determination. It's going to be an interesting contest.
Who's your pick?
I think Brothers in Arms is going to pull it out at the end. I think they're going to catch Jesse and Adi off guard, and I think Brothers in Arms is going to take the titles home. I really do. Who do you think?
I'm going to go with Jesse and Adi.
Wow.
And here's the thing, and I have respect for the Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
Okay? I think they're getting jobbed elsewhere.
Right.
Okay? And if you think I'm knocking on someone, I am.
Okay.
Okay? I think they're getting jobbed elsewhere. But
Okay.
I think they have respect. But I think the factor of them not knowing Ativalu
Right.
is going to be the deciding factor. And you saw that kick. He knocked out a 350-pound man with a
did.
side kick
Yeah.
right to the head.
No, I mean, the one part when Romeo knocked him down and Adi just jumped right back up like it didn't even faze him. No, I'm not disagreeing with you on the strength and on the toughness of Adi, but I do think that Jesse and Adi are not... I'm not saying they can't coexist, but I think they're going to have that new tag team. You don't know what the other one kind of does. They don't know each other the way that their other partners knew them. So it's a different dynamic, and I know how Jason is, I know how Ray is. I think they're going to capitalize, and I think they're going to grab them. And I think they're going to walk away with the title still your PWE Tag Champions. I don't think Brothers in Arms is done yet with the tag division at PWE. I don't. But it's going to be interesting to see how that match really goes. It's in either way. I can see it going 50-50. It's going to be one of those matches where it's too close to call. So
we got some big things coming up, obviously, for PWE
Yeah.
3, No Remorse.
yeah. There's a lot of other big things coming up in the works as well.
We'll have an announcement regarding the PWE Championship, hopefully by next week.
Yeah, we are hopefully, but I would say by the end of this week we're going to have something where the fans are going to know what the new match is going to be.
Okay. And I'm sure we have other matches that will be announced
Yeah.
coming up soon.
Yep.
We are literally
We're on the road to No Remorse.
5 weeks away.
Yeah, we are on the road to No Remorse now. This is when all the fun things start happening, match announcements. You're going to start seeing a lot of cool things heading into No Remorse. And like I said, the PWE team, we have so much stuff going on in the future as well, on top of No Remorse. There's so much great things. And again, we take it upon, we want to apologize for the situation with Abyss. It's out of our control, it's out of our hands, but we are promising to give you the best main event that we can for No Remorse, and that's what we're going to do. We're not just picking a random person. We're not just saying, hey guys, Abyss is out, here's somebody new for you. No, we're taking our time. We're looking at a whole bunch of different superstars and people in Florida, and we're going to give you Mandrake and somebody really good to make sure that PWE title defense is what it should be and what it's expected to be. And it's going to be a good match.
I'm assuming that the rules are not going to change. It will be
Anything
no holds
goes.
barred.
It'll still be an anything goes, no holds barred. That's the way Mandrake likes to play, and that's what we originally promised. We're not taking that away. We're just giving you somebody new. But you are still getting a no holds barred PWE Championship match.
Right up Mark's alley.
It is. But you don't know. The person that we end up picking, who knows? It might be up their alley too. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody who's been in hardcore before. It could be somebody that's never done hardcore ever. It's interesting because there's so many people to choose from. I know it's going to be interesting for the fans, but I mean, it's interesting for Mandrake too. Mandrake was preparing for Abyss. Now, 5 weeks, a little less than 5 weeks away, your gameplay kind of has to change a little bit. It's going to be an interesting title defense.
Well, I still think he'll get at least 4 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks to prepare. And with that preparation, he'll definitely deliver with what he said he was going to deliver with all the fans.
Right.
And we're going to have a match that of their liking. And I'm telling you right now, I was there on the 26th of January. The show
That was your
delivered.
PWE first PWE show.
That was my first
We
PWE
popped
show.
your cherry, didn't we?
Oh, had a blast. and I guess we can make an announcement. Next event,
Yeah.
the PWE 3,
Yeah.
I will be speaking to superstars
Yeah.
prior and after their matches
Right.
to go get their thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting some big things coming from that, we can go ahead and get our fans to hear what they feel, not only after the match. Because house shows, you don't see that very often.
You don't see any of that.
And I think this is what we want to treat the fans to, is something big.
Yeah, you want to see the reaction after their match and after what happened in the ring. You want to know what the thoughts of the superstars are instead of waiting 2-3 weeks and knowing what they thought about something where their feelings are not there.
And we got lucky with that on the podcast, and because on the podcast it was very simple. We had ERA come in and talk about the fact that he was not expecting what was going on with Sideshow.
Right.
And then we had Jesse came on here and say, "Hey, I'm here because I'm not getting respect, and I'm not asking for it anymore. I'm demanding it."
Right.
Very simply.
You had Mark on the podcast.
He even went on to basically say that he was getting respect from me for being interrupted by my former co-host. Thank you, James.
Mr. Ludovic.
He also made sure there was absolutely no clowns on PWE's show. Thank you very much, Jesse. I appreciate that.
True.
And of course, we also
the only clown we had was Ludeman, and he is officially gone.
Okay. I want to make sure you understand something, folks. Nick and James have known each other for
a long
years.
time. We ain't burying each other. I've known this man for a long time. James, best of luck to you in your future endeavors as well, sir.
Yes. And of course, Mark Mandrake also on the show. Yeah. He wouldn't even talk to him.
I noticed. Well, I mean, would you, after you got criticized for how many weeks and called out and also accused of doing something, would you want to speak to somebody like that?
I probably wouldn't.
I mean, when you're somebody like Mark, who's got, as he says, the women, the PWE Championship, would you want to lower yourself to speak to somebody who just kept accusing? Right. No.
I'll tell you one thing. I got to see some good women after the after show.
After party.
Yes.
Atlantis was rocking that night.
Yes.
It was great. The
I
next time
got choked out, though, but it's okay. I remember some of it.
Those women got some strong legs.
I'm telling you.
It was a good time, though. We all had fun.
So
that's the way we do it.
And of course, we're going to keep you updated. We'll have some reports coming out regarding what's going on at PWE, and announcements will be made on the Prestige Wrestling Facebook account. And of course, we'll have them echoed here as they are announced. So stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have Samuel C. on the show. He'll be on for Friday night. Saturday night, we will be going to GCW, A Love of Wrestling, at the Tampa Bay Chocolate Festival. That will be going from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon to about 8 o'clock at night. They're going to have matches in about 3 different intervals. So about 8 to 9 matches on the card. Come out and check it out. It's free.
It's free chocolate too, isn't it?
I don't know. I think the vendors are selling chocolate, but that's okay. I am very hoping that the technical alchemist David Mercury keeps that clown away from me.
There's a clown going to be there?
Chuckles will be there. The king of clowns will be there.
That's your friend. That's your friend.
I am not looking forward to this regarding Chuckles, and I don't have backup anymore on this case, sir. So
is he bringing you a balloon?
I hope that's all it is a balloon.
I hope he brings you a red balloon.
If you ever book Chuckles, I swear.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to get your reaction to interviewing Chuckles. I think that would be a comedy show in its own right. I don't think you'd be able to stand in the same room.
We are definitely going to have Mark Mandrake back on the show. We have talked to him, and he should be on the show with probably the last week of February or the first week of March. By then, we will know who he is facing.
Yeah.
And very much so, we will obviously bring you more news that's come along. I'm working on getting Justin Michaels on the show. I'm sure we'll have him on prior to PWE. And then, of course, the PWE 3. No Remorse.
Live March 16th. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com, keyword PWE. Get them now.
And I'm telling you right now, folks, a show will be awesome. I know we've already talked about Abyss not being there. Abyss will tell you himself, go to the show, because you know that Mark Mandrake is going to deliver for you.
Not only just Mark Mandrake, but Jesse Neal, Ati, anybody else on the PWE roster. I mean, our roster is Kennedy Kendrick, Samuel C. You have everybody else that ERA, Sideshow.
We're talking about also
the Brooklyn Juggernaut, Romeo, Lou Cypher. I mean, we have a stacked roster where you guys are going to be entertained. You're going to get the best 2 hours for your money. I mean, tickets start as low as $15. They go up to $25. It's a great night of entertaining action in Largo, Los Dos Plebes, March 16th. Get your tickets now.
And of course, I will work on getting with Nick throughout the week about the announcement, and of course, Commissioner Vince, who is enjoying with one of his comrades some UFC tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really happy for him. It's good. We're not on the phone tonight. I get a night off. It's nice to kind of sometimes have a night off, but work never stops.
I most certainly did send a message to Commissioner Vince, letting him know. Actually, I sent it to his buddy he is with tonight. Yeah. Let him know that I got you taken care of, brother. Awesome. Okay, so we got that done. Okay?
Gives me a night off from the phone, but I still have work to be done.
And guess what? That work was right here on the J&J Wrestling Podcast, folks. Hit our Twitter up, J&J Wrestling Pod at Twitter. Also on Facebook, the Wrestling Pod 2 on Twitter, JJ Wrestling Pod on Facebook. Our Gmail, jjwrestlingpod@gmail.com. JJ Wrestling Pod for our YouTube. Go like, go subscribe. Our shows are going to be on YouTube. We'll be putting this week. We're going to put it on Facebook and YouTube, but we wanted to let you know now to check it out on YouTube and like and subscribe, so therefore when we put it out, you'll get the notifications that our next show is out. We have a minute left. Anything you want to say, my friend?
We'll plug some PWE stuff. PrestigeWrestlingEntertainment.com. Go hit that up for all your late breaking news.
You can get merchandise on there too.
You can get merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, Christmas ornaments. I mean, car decals, there's beer koozies, all that type of stuff. But yeah, man, just go check out No Remorse. Keep it with PWE for the rest of the week. It's going to be a good show. You guys don't want to miss it.
Jesse Neal and Ativalu challenging the Brothers in Arms for the PWE Tag Team Championship. And Mark Mandrake is guaranteed to be defending the title at PWE No Remorse, Los Dos Plebes, March 16th, 7 o'clock bell time. Get your tickets on eventbrite.com. Keyword PWE. I am James Pritsky here for the J&J Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, Nicholas Hansbury, for joining me.
Sir. I appreciate it.
And we will all see you next week with Samuel C. here on the J&J Wrestling Podcast.